Did you just say GM particles?
I said GN particles.
Are we working?
Yeah, we're good.
Am I less of a robot?
You are no longer a robot. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Once Upon a Game, Season 3, Episode 14. We're playing Vincent Baker's Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands. So, hi. Yay, yay, yay. So, if this is your first time tuning in, awesome. Welcome. So happy to have you. I know it says Season 3, Episode 14, but you don't have to watch anything else because all these episodes are one-shots. These are self-contained games where they wrap up at the end of our show here. So you don't have to miss anything. There's no like previous stuff that you have to worry about. Part of I love long form games. I have a bunch of long form games and stuff like that. But sometimes I just want to like jump into the action, and playing a one shot and playing games that facilitate one shot play. You get some really cool stuff. You just cut right into the action. It's like watching a movie. It's like making a movie with your friends together. So it's awesome. I love it, and that's what I want to do here. That's what I'm trying to bring with you guys here and trying to demo some awesome games. And I played this game last week on 2 weeks ago on Once Upon a Game, and now I'm excited to bring it back again because I just love this game so much. Oh my god. So but before we jump into what this game is about, let's just go around and say who we are. It's important, and then I got a couple other things to talk about, like the X card and sort of like rules and stuff for playing on Once Upon a Game. So yeah, let's start with me. I'm Eric. I'm the host and facilitator for this game. This game will be GM-less, but what that means is I will be responsible for kind of like knowing the rules, and if you have any rules questions, I'll be kind of the person facilitating that kind of stuff, but I don't have any like particular power over the game. Like, I'm a player just like you, so that's about it. So let's just go around the table here and do stuff. So, Sci-Fry, let's go first.
Hey everyone, I'm Sci-Fry. I'm the resident Gundam expert. You can find me at twitter.com/Sci-Fry with an underscore after it, twitch.tv/Sci-Fry. Talk to me about mech games because holy shit, I love them.
I love it. Thank you so much he's actually the guy responsible for bringing this game to my
Yeah,
attention.
no, I introduced you to this game.
So, it was awesome.
Played it with you for the first time 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Kelsa, what's up? You're muted.
Muted.
I'm muted. Good. Perfect. Brilliant. That was exactly what I meant to do. Hello, I'm Kelsa. Sometimes I forget whether or not I'm muted, and sometimes you can hear me going, hey, am I muted? I don't know if I'm muted. Well, I hunt around my screen because I only have one monitor trying to find Zoom and unmute it, and sometimes you just watch my mouth go because I forgot that I was muted. Anyway, the point is that I play a lot of role-playing games here, there, and everywhere. Eric was just talking about some long-form games that he plays. I play on Never Sunny in Duskfall, which is a Blades in the Dark game that he runs here tomorrow. We're doing that tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah, we're definitely doing it tomorrow.
I'll murder you. Okay, good.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, no murder.
Yeah! Oh, God. Thank you.
Well, there'll be murder, but it'll only be in the game. And
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I appreciate that then. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Cool. Wreckage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wreckage. I've been on this channel a bunch, and on podcasts with Eric, and we're doing podcasts, and Sci-Fry was like, hey, buddy, I know that we watch Gundams together. You want to play Gundams together? And then he signed me up for this, and then he was like, I signed you up for this.
Well, because you didn't know how. I was
Yeah.
just like, Wreckage, there's a slot open. Do you want to play in this game? And you're like, I don't know where the sign-up sheet is. And it's like, I'll write your name in for you, buddy. I'll sign your permission slip.
So what I'm saying is that I'm here against my will. Please send help.
You're playing Gundam, damn it.
And if Sci-Fi mentions the word quantum brainwaves, I will bleed out of my nose and die. And I'm pretty sure that that's against Twitch terms of service.
Oh, my God.
No.
Yeah.
That was yesterday on
That was Viewscream. Yeah.
You see, core gamers are 18 to 35,
Gamers.
have disposable income, and they love free 2-day shipping.
That's true. I do love free 2-day shipping,
a-
which is why I have Twitch Prime.
A buddy of mine makes that joke literally for everything. A lot of core gaming jokes. So that's, oh my God. All right.
I'm
Anyways,
happy to be his proxy.
Yeah. Last but not least, Adam, Dark Lavender Void. What's up, my friend?
I don't do a whole lot. I'm pretty much trapped in an alternate reality where people are really mean to each other and you renovate houses. That's pretty much my entire life right now.
It's called IKEA.
I'm sorry. You're in an alternate. You're trapped in the renovating houses dimension.
Yes.
Is that HGTV?
Yes.
meets H.P.
They're
Lovecraft.
always renovating.
Only worse.
That's the tagline for the game, right? It's HGTV crossed with H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah. HDTV is the coordinates to the universe.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So, actually, yeah. Let's go over a couple things for Once Upon a Game, because I know we've all kind of played together and that kind of stuff. But that's what makes it all the more important to review this stuff, because when we play together before, those are always the moments when you want to feel a little bit more relaxed. You might want to get into something a little bit more deep, and sometimes you just end up just forgetting something that's obvious. So the big thing about Once Upon a Game that we follow is that we have the X card. We have lines and veils. So if you're ever uncomfortable with something that's coming up, you can go be like, guys, can we take a step back real quick? Can we like not talk about that? Or can we like just push past it? Or can we really just, X that out, remove it, message me privately if it's uncomfortable, right? So like whenever you're uncomfortable and it's like literally not something you want in your game, bring that up. That's the big rule here. We're adults. We're playing a game. I want you guys to push things that you may not be like, I want you guys to push boundaries if you want, and explore things that you want to explore in the game, and you do that safely by using these tools here. They're your safety valves, and I just need to know if we agree with kind of doing that kind of stuff. We cool? A lot of head nods. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. See, that's the way to do it. Awesome. So then before we right before we jump into the game, because that's like the big rule we really need to just get put forward. I guess you need to know about how to get on our show, because I realize you just brought that up. So I have a Discord, and if you guys are watching this and you want to play with me and you want to play Firebrands with me, or Polaris, or Fiasco, or any games that I offer, find me on Discord. I have a sign-up sheet there where you just fill in your name into an available slot. I provide preferences to new players, because I want to play with new players, and like that's important to me that it happens. So if you want to play with us, don't feel intimidated. A big thing that I want to do with streaming is that I don't want you to think that gaming's intimidating. There's so many fucking like fine crafted artisanal role-playing games that are like the peak of everything, right? I'm in some of them, in my opinion, but I GM some of them, but I also want to show that not all gaming has to be like that, and not all gaming the skills and things required to get to that, those crazy things, can be made, and you can have such as much fun just making like something in a much faster way than these like crazy 50 long arcs of not like stories and stuff like that, right? So that's it's a big important thing to do. I want to be like a hand up to be like, hey, here's some tools how to like drive at the stuff that you're interested in as a player or as a GM, because if you play a GM-less game, you end up taking on some of the roles and responsibilities that a GM has, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I could GM something, and you try it, and you fucking, you'll mess up a couple times, and then it's great, right? So do that stuff. Play more games. I'm here to help you play more games, right? That's what I want to do. So anyways, that's it. Let's talk about this game, because I'm so excited to play Firebrands. So Firebrands, in a nutshell, is a mech anime role-playing game. It is a game. Its tagline is "Fight with your friends, ally with your rivals, fall in love with your enemies." That is the core ethos of the game. We're going to be playing this game to make these messy entanglements between us. And what is us, and what are we doing? So this is sort of like the 20,000 foot level of the sort of pretense for the setting of this world. So we're all playing on a planet called Bantris, or a system called Bantris. This system is basically not notable in any regard for the longest time. Earth has taken to the stars. On the back, we on the back of technology, we use giant mechs to do stuff for us and everything like that. This planet Bantris, or this sector, not really important. There was this tiny little like notable, like a footnote about some kind of like weird crystal on this one planet, and that was it. Then all of a sudden, this crystal became super valuable when someone realized that you could use a process that turns this crystal into called crystallized bantrafin, which is some sort of like miracle item, right? And all of a sudden, this place has become extremely valuable. So think of like Dune and the spice, right? So
unobtainium.
Yeah, it's unobtainium, right? It's this awesome thing, and the idea is that there's 3 factions involved that are like competing over this stuff. And we're kind of like in this weird cold proxy war, because if it ever turned into some fucking crazy thing, then Earth's going to show up and the Popo is going to show up and fucking shut that shit down, take all the money, and we don't get anything. So,
right. You
Right.
can't admit that you're at war because then they'll just take everything.
Exactly. So
Just be like, oh, we don't deal with warring planets.
So the way this game gets played is that we're going to make our characters. Our characters are based in one of these 3 factions, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then we're going to take turns creating scenes. And how you create scenes in this game is not normally how you would do in like other games. Say like when I played Eden or like Fiasco, where you can kind of like make up stuff just off the cuff. What you're going to do, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking turns choosing 1 of 10 different mini games that are available in this game that sort of set the scenes. An example would be like a conversation over dinner. Another one would be like meeting sword to sword, or like a dance, or stealing time together. Like there's all these different things that, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of how they work and all that kind of stuff because you're going to see it in play. But the idea is that you're going to choose a game that frames the scene that you want, and then you fill it in the stuff. So basically the game provides you a structural framework for scene framing when it's your turn for what you want to do. So that's kind of the long and short of it. All right. So let's just jump into the game now. Let's start doing some character generation. All right. Does that sound good, everybody?
Yeah.
Cool. I just rambled on for like 15 minutes and yeah, cool. So we're going to make some characters. The way you pick characters is that you're going to start by choosing a faction. And then once you start choosing a faction, you're going to start choosing some attractive qualities of your character as well as their name. The attractive qualities and everything are listed based on what faction you want. And if you're playing from home right now, you can see that in our handout here from Roll20, we have them listed kind of here. I'm sorry that I can't fit them all on one sheet, but I promise they're there. And I will move this and zoom in when we're doing character creation for everybody so you can read along and see what they do. So, yeah. That's what we're doing, and Mathin's completely right? We play all the games. It's great. We tell stories about God skydiving off pyramids and assassins falling in love. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing, only with mechs and butt touching today. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, my goal is to choose the attractive qualities that make the least attractive individual. I want to be the shittiest.
The despicable, yeah.
That is
Confident.
That's my goal.
Cool.
No one can touch
So
you.
So does anybody? So I know we've been kind of sitting here and we've been looking at this screen. Does anybody like immediately have an idea for a character they want to jump in, and then they can be sort of like the launching point for doing it for the rest of us? Otherwise, I'll go first, and I have no problem kind of describing and walking us through. I've just talked a lot.
Well, I've never played this game or seen it played or could understand the PDF, so you
Perfect.
should definitely.
I didn't look at the PDF, and I didn't actually watch the playthrough. And actually, can somebody send me the PDF?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, same here.
Well,
I have a fantastic idea for
Most
a
of the
terrible
important
character.
stuff you need from the PDF is on the thing.
Yeah, so the page that you need to look at right now for Roll20 is this, right? This is the
I'm looking at it. Like I said, I have an idea for a fantastically terrible character, and I feel like I have a fairly good idea. I did watch character creation, so I've got that part down pat. If you want to start with me, I'll start making my terrible character.
Yeah,
Sure.
let's walk through your character. Let's do that.
Sure. All right. So I decided I want to be. It was really hard for me to decide what faction I wanted to be from, what faction would produce the shittiest individual, and I feel like it's probably going to be landowners.
Yeah.
I was like, I could be like part of the nobility because that's pretty shitty, or I could be like a really like extremist revolutionary and that's pretty shitty. But no, I'm going to be the most down to earth shitty person that you've ever seen, sent here by the landowners to do a job, and I'm choosing.
Yeah, everyone has a handout in Roll20, by the way, to write down your character.
Writing stuff down on it. It's good.
Yeah.
I'll read this out loud because it's what you guys did last time, and it's probably helpful because it's hard to read on Twitch. The landowners are, according to the Solar Union law, the rights
holders.
The rights holders to wealth of Bantril. You are a mobile frame ace pilot employed to defend and secure their rights. So the landowners are their soldiers, their officers, and they are all your friends. Officially, the Bantres are your rivals, but when the fight breaks out, they are your enemies. Revolutionaries are always your enemies. So the 3 attractive qualities that I am choosing to be the least attractive person here is confident, conflicted, and it's a toss-up between sophisticated and fashionable.
I mean, you could also be a know-it-all with like educated. Like, actually,
No, like I want to be a little bit more down to earth than that.
Oh, you want to be okay? Because if you were okay, you want down to earth. Then I was gonna say
I'm
striking, which
thinking
is the
maybe
opposite of down to earth.
I was thinking maybe striking in like a body mod, weird hair color, like obvious tattoo kind of striking, as opposed to like just strikingly beautiful.
Oh yeah,
How
you
do
have
Yeah.
some kind
how
of
do you
like
feel about that?
yeah, like you have like this like really cool aesthetic, right? Or not necessarily cool, but like striking aesthetic about you.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it's but it's like tasteful,
I need
right?
a name
Yeah.
that will be easy to remember. Hmm.
Once we have our names, by the way, and we do this stuff, can we please go ahead and edit our Roll20 down below to like have that stuff that corresponds to your name and what faction you're in? Just so it's easy to remember for everybody.
Of course. I'm bad at coming up with names. This is the hardest part, guys.
Then skip that part and do the next part.
Okay.
That's true.
I
random
will be
fantasy name generator.
thinking. Okay, so I want her nickname to be Bear, but that's neither here nor there. I need a company name, a user designation, or a squad call sign. The company name is going to be this is names again, it's hard. The Bayshore Brawlers.
Okay.
The Beige War?
Bayshore.
Bayshore.
Is the name.
Shore Brawlers.
Yeah.
So,
Bayshore.
so that's the name of your company or the name of your unit?
That sounds more like a squad call sign.
It does sound like a squad.
Yeah, it's a call sign.
Squad it is. All right, squad it is. Squad call sign.
Like, this is like your Top Gun.
Look, I don't know how names work. We just talked about this like 2 seconds ago. Mobile frames are walking combat labor mecca that humanity brought with them to colonize the galaxy. Your mobile frame is a high-quality military model, probably an Osprey, armed with and armored to your exact specifications, bearing insignia of your company and a rank.
You can also choose a custom name for your mech because it's way cooler.
Mech name. Oh, why do you do this to me, Sci-Fi? Why? My soldiers are like you, professional warfighters employed by the landowners. Think of them as your military unit under your command. And I am writing all of this down. Okay, I'm going to come up with your name and you can move on to something else.
Okay. Why? Okay. Who else? Okay, while you're doing that then, does somebody else want to go?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, Adam, who do you want to play today?
I am going to play for the faction the Bantrash.
Sweet.
I want to be fancy.
Yeah.
And I think I'm like probably trash nobility, as evidenced by my very noble Italian style last name and my very gave myself a new name later in life first name. My name is Jacob, like J as in Blue Jay, and then Cub as in like Bear Cub.
How do you say your last name?
Yakovaci.
Yakovaci. Oh my god.
It's not the family name that has to be easy to remember. It's the first name that has to be easy to remember.
That's true. There's only one Jacob. There's a million Jacobs, but only one Jacob.
Yeah. Let's pick some attractive qualities. Okay. I am.
You could also
You're gonna make me
do
bust
like
out the
Elsa
Story
did
Games
and
names
read
project,
that
aren't you?
blurb there if you wanted to
Oh, yeah, I should.
for the stream.
Yeah.
The Bantrash are the aristocratic families of Von Trawl. You are a hereditary warrior prince or princess of a noble family, a mobile frame ace pilot, and the off-world landowners have robbed you of your wealth and estates. You've been raised to believe that the wealth of Von Trawl belongs to the Bantrash. The Bantrash of the same family are your friends. So the Yakovachis are my friends. And Bantrash of different families are my rivals. The landowners and revolutionaries are my enemies. So we've got a little petty noble family war going on where there's an actual war elsewhere.
Yeah. There's like the noble families, and then there's the landowners that are just like, hey, we got the D tier planet.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to be cultured and rich and strong.
Cultured, rich, and strong. That Jacob, he's cultured, rich, and strong.
I mean strong particularly as in muscular and very fit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that means beautiful too. But I think I work out, maybe. Yeah.
Sounds right. Cool. So what is your what's your mech like? And do you have like think about what your
Let's see.
like what would be like your sigil? Like do you have like a coat of arms, like, or like what are your colors? Right? Because like being a family, you kind of like have like, you know, you're like detailed out in sort of like your familial, like, you know, like
it does say
Game of
in
Thrones
paragraph
almost
that-
family crest style shit. So like what
Yeah.
is your crest, or like what is, you know, what is distinct about your family that like everyone knows that you're part of the you know, Ikavachi, or maybe are you like a rebel or something from
It does say in your blurb that your mech is custom built for you personally.
Yeah.
But it's kitted out in heraldic insignia and the colors of your house. So that's what I was wondering what it means for you.
I think the insignia itself is like on the middle of the mech's back and on the front chest. And I think it's like a very basic shield shape with and it's green. And there's on the sort of points of the shield, there's these red circles, and in the middle of the insignia itself is this the standing bear, ready to attack.
Oh, cool.
You know, for bonus points, while other people are doing things,
I'm
there's
gonna
a
fight
draw
you.
function on roll 20.
Okay. I'll go next unless someone else wants to go.
I was gonna go next, but I'll go after you.
No, please go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, I'm happy going last.
You don't sound happy going last. Do you want to go?
No, I'm happy. I meant it, Sci-Fry.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
read into things.
I just assumed that everything you say to me is facetious.
All right, what are you doing?
Sci-Fi, I'm really enjoying this Gundam anime.
Yeah, exactly. I don't believe you.
Quantum brainwaves. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, I was going to play a revolutionary.
Ooh,
Oh.
okay, that's our third faction, and
Yeah.
I'm bringing us over here to look at it on screen, and go ahead and read to us.
Yeah, I'll read the blurb.
Yeah, the big blurb parts.
The undeclared war between landowners and the Bantrash is a opportunity for the people of Bantrol to rise up. You are a revolutionary captain, a mobile frame ace pilot, fighting for freedom from both the hereditary tyranny and off-world rule. It's your opinion that the wealth of Bantrol should belong to its people. While both the Bantrash and the landowners are your enemies in principle, some of their most sympathetic individuals, families, and squads are your rivals and friends in practice. And while in principle the revolution is entirely your friends, it's in practice it contains rivals and enemies as well. My 3 attractive qualities are going to be dashing, inspiring, and kind.
Oh, nice. Do you have a name ready for it?
Yes, my name is...
By the way, I'm just gonna link
Bless.
this because I found this. I'm going to link this in pretty much everything. I'm going to pin it in my Discord when I have a chance to. This is a book called The Story Games Names Project. It is essentially the best thing in the world.
It is.
Let me just...
I do love some name lists.
It is the best name list in the entire universe.
My character's name will be Vincent Mason.
Cool. And then what about your mech? What are the mechs for like the revolutionary look like
stuff? It says your mobile frame is a repurposed labor model, much repaired, armed and armored with mismatch and makeshift systems with no insignia except maybe a symbol of uprising justice or liberty.
So your mech is essentially like a goblin piloted shredder or something like that?
It's a little like that. Like it's a work mecha that, like, you know, I mean, mechs have hands, so obviously it could just pick up a gun.
Well, not necessarily. I played this last night, and a guy's mech turned out to be kind of like a Big Daddy from BioShock.
We did have it 2 weeks ago where the Revolutionary's mech was a glorified like forklift.
Yeah, it was the fucking thing from Alien.
It was the thing that Ridley uses in Aliens.
Yeah. Nice.
So. Yeah. So that's a thing. Okay. So then I'll go, and then Wreckage will go. Was there anything else? Was there?
No, I will think of a mech name and
bring it to.
Yeah. Oh, I need a mech name.
Think of a mech name. Well, okay. So like once we're done making our characters, and then we're also going to do our scene. So when we do our opening scene, that will give a chance to really introduce and flesh out our characters as well. Okay?
Say what they look like and stuff
exactly.
like that.
Because then, so think about what's like since you are a revolutionary. I'm interested in what kind of insignia you have, if it's a uprising, justice, or liberty, if at all. So I'm picking. All right, here's my character. I'm gonna go. I found the Italian name section in the Story Game Names Project, and I came up with Leonetta Dragonetti, which is like the fucking most awesome name I've ever heard. So yeah, exactly. So Leonetta. I immediately think that she has hair like Jessie from Pokemon. Like this long red hair that just like streaks back, and she's very like totalitarian regime like form-fitting clothing. She is beautiful first and foremost. She is rich. Her family is one of the most wealthiest families on Bantress. And
as if.
Excuse me, had to sneeze. That came on real quick. That was a stealth sneeze, everybody. So beautiful, rich, and strong. And she's ambitious. Her family's always been ambitious. And so that's made her kind of like at odds with some people. She is the matron of her house while she's like young, I think. So yeah, the Dragonettis. Obviously, we have a dragon as our like motif. I fucking love dragon motifs. Spoilers. I did that last time. I'm doing it again, just with a different flair. So we have a custom. I have a custom mech. I like the idea that I'm gonna get a little even crazier here. My mech, our symbol is a two-headed dragon. So like the dragon insignia, like kind of like turns into like two heads on our shoulders.
Yes.
That like breathe fire and shoot rockets and shit, or like laser beams. I'm not sure yet, but like, you know what I mean?
Me of what was that guy's name in like Star Ocean's second story that just had like two dragon heads?
I don't know, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what my mech does, and like so like I have like dragon head pauldron kind of things that can like shoot stuff.
Reminds me of like Voltron, but just dragons instead of lions.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. I'm on board with that idea as well. So that's basically the gist of my character. Yeah. To you, Wreckage.
All right. Hi, everybody. Having heard everybody's characters, I'm giving great consideration to faction for a moment, and I think ultimately, with the spread that we're at right now, it's most interesting if we have an additional revolutionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will be a revolutionary. My name is Takano Nakayama.
You know what they say, Wreckage? People who watch Gundam together stick together.
Apparently. My attractive qualities are I am devoted, down to earth, and resolute.
Okay.
My mech is the first production model of the revolution. Not at all a random labor unit reproduced. It's called the prototype Shootbot 001.
Wow. Very on the nose, the names.
It's a bot. It shoots things.
I'm the most ace pilot who's gonna.
We have the best names.
You are the atheist.
The problem with the people of Bantress is that we're losing. We need to win.
Yeah, we just need to stop losing, guys. It's not hard.
I'm the most ace pilot who's gonna pilot the prototype 001 Shootbot.
What do you do? What's your profession?
Yeah, my profession is well, so what can it be, like soldier, like ex-soldier?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a soldier, and that's why I'm the most ace pilot in the revolution.
Oh, nice.
And now I'm like, no, I'm a revolutionary, and I'm gonna pilot the Shootbot.
Cool.
We need to
Cool.
we need to not call it the shoot bot.
Yeah, like think of a better name. No offense.
I feel like everyone else in the revolution just calls it the prototype, and
Yeah,
you're just like, it's the shoot bot.
Because that's what it's actually called.
Yeah,
like,
it's
you
like
spray
nobody
paint
calls it
Shootbot
that.
on the side of it, like Shootbot version 0001, and then like someone else, like after you leave, like has to fucking like shake their head as they like spray it off, like they paint it back off the olive drab or whatever.
Like that's
You're-
not
you're
the
putting-
name.
the head
Like-
scientist that made the prototype. It cradled him in my arms as he died. He said, it's the Shootbot. And everyone's like, no, it's the dumbest name ever. And I was like, it's his dying wish to call it the Shootbot.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And he
I
didn't
think
even die from anything important. Like it was, you know.
No, it was like he'd finished the Shootbot and he was like, yeah, let's raise a celebratory glass. And he like choked on a bean or something. I'm like,
Exactly.
no.
Totally.
gun violence, a horrible thing. All right, guys. So now let's do our first scene here. So this is how it's gonna work. The way this game works is that we're all going to take turns, and we're all going to have to play this very first game. It's called the solitaire game. What that means and what it basically turns into is essentially a vignette making game where you're going to be setting a scene, and you're going to be setting the scene based on answering one of these pre-scripted questions with a pre-scripted answer, and you're going to describe what that looks like, and especially with purposes of your character in mind. They're broken down by faction. So, the landowner answers different questions than the revolutionary, which answers different questions than from the noble houses of the Bantresh. Right? That's kind of how it's set up. And there's an extra little addendum, I guess is the best way to put it, to when you make these vignette scenes. Us who are playing along and listening, they can ask a couple questions if they want. In addition, if the scene that you made calls for it, there is a stipulation about a reputation that could be gained, or hearsay, or something about the thing that you just did, what I hear about it on my side, and what that makes me think of you, right? So like a reputation or rumor, or like how does this get reflected in play, right? Like a hearsay of what you've done, right? So it's basically what we heard. It doesn't necessarily mean it's accurate. It could be totally flavored in a particular way or not, right? So that's the gist of it. Is anybody who's played this game or looked at it really interested right now in doing the like calling the first scene? Or otherwise, I'll pick something if we want, and kind of give us a taste of how to do it. Otherwise, whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, I want to see how it's done first.
No problem, right? That's completely fine. Does anybody else want to go right now though, or want me to take the reins?
I'll do a solitaire scene because I had an idea.
Cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it done.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, so For my solitaire scene, I'm going to choose.
Remind us again who you are and what your and you're a revolutionary, right?
Yes, I am a revolutionary. I would say he probably wears the rank of general within the revolution, which doesn't really mean anything because they're not really organized. But
It
people
means that you command the people that like are in the area at the moment. But if you ever met up with another general, you wouldn't be like, so which one of us is in charge right now?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I don't even know. But it means that people respect him enough to call him general and listen to him.
Yes.
But yeah, I would say Vincent Mason is a tall man, probably in his late 20s, with sort of long black hair. And he wears himself pretty properly for being in the revolution. His mech is actually a stolen mobile frame from one of the landowners' camps that has been refit for use by the revolution, and it's called the Experimental Assault Suit Perfect Wing. And my solitaire scene would be, says, you've been conducting surveillance of the off-worlders' transit shipments and troop movements. And you saw a friendly meeting between Bantresh and off-world officers. So I think what that scene looks like is just the scene starts with like someone who's clearly a noble and walking up to like a high-ranking landowner, and they just shake hands, and then the scene pans out, and it's just like the rebel team, like, and then you see me put like binoculars down, and he's just like, they're fraternizing with the enemy.
Yeah, I love the idea that it's actually like we see the scene, and it's like maybe it's like they see like the handshake or whatever go down.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you zoom out a little bit and you see that it's like been reflected in the lens of the binoculars as like you like zoom out and like you guys see on the fucking cliff or whatever. Are you cool with that?
Yeah. And
I got really excited about that scene, so I wanted to share that too. But I didn't mean to step over your actual authority.
Yeah, the thing that is the end result of the ending solitaire section is someone notices something or everyone notices something or hears something about my character, and the thing that they hear is that I don't trust the Bantresh.
Ah.
Like, I don't believe we can work with them.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely buy that.
But yeah, all right. That's my solitaire scene. Yep. That's the intro to my character.
So there's no like order to the game. Typically, you just kind of go around clockwise or something. Like that's usually what it ends up doing. But if somebody else is like really excited and jumping at the bit to, or chomping at the bit to do something,
I've been reading through these, and I think I know what scene I'd like to frame here.
Cool. Technically, you would be next if we're going right to left. So that's.
I mean,
perfect.
That's not how it looks in my Zoom call, but I'm not looking at the. Anyway, point is, hey, what's up? I'm gonna do a thing. My character, I finally came up with a name. Her name is Vi Rocheford, and Vi has been off duty, relaxing with her fellow soldiers, but she found that she couldn't fully relax and enjoy herself the way that they did, and so this kind of manifests in she is there in like a bar that is a landowner bar, basically. It's very nearby where the barracks is, and this is where all of the soldiers go. And she was sitting there, and and you see her, and she's in my mind, she looks like Zarya, like a lot. She's like hulked out. She's got like a shaved head, mostly like a undercut with like bright pink hair.
I was gonna say it has like the anime bang, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, totally with the anime bang, the whole thing. But she's got like a number of tattoos and a number of piercings, and she's sitting there, and she's sitting very, very like everybody else is like relaxing and everything, and you can see how very upright she is sitting, and she keeps looking at the door, like just constantly. She can't help herself until finally she just slams her beer, sets the glass down a little bit too hard. It doesn't break, but everyone is very sure it's going to. Like, all eyes turn to the table, and she just stands up and walks out.
Ooh.
And so this is definitely some gossip that everybody has heard, is that the rumor has started, whether it's true or not, that Vi has anger issues.
Okay. I can dig with that too. If no one else objects, I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Objection! No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
All right. So my scene. So I'm a Bantrashy noble, or a Bantrash noble. All right, here's my scene. We're building off of Sci-Fry's scene, and I will be. We see the people that were in Sci-Fry's scene come back to me and say how successful it was meeting with the off-worlders of the what's the name of the land union?
Solar Union.
Solar Union. So yeah, the Solar Union, right? Like a subsidiary of the Solar Union. Being like the secret deal went down perfectly. They're an alliance with the Solar Union is close to being Iron Forged, right? Like the seeds are sown for our alliance with them, and then we can finally rise to power and become the strongest house, right? Like I said, super ambitious. So yeah, what you guys heard about this? You hear that there's rumors of a possible alliance between the Solar Union and the Dragonetties, right? Or, I mean, at the very least, you know that we're ambitious and we're not afraid to do whatever it takes to win. So that's my scene. So, oh, by the way, I guess I never really set this scene or described it. It's with the soldiers and stuff. Where we saw the handshake in Vincent Mason's scene. They came back to like a. Like we see me in like an underground like compound, but it looks like a CIC. You know what I mean? Like it looks like you got like the set of like a hollow deck in the or a hollow table in the middle of this room, and it's got like a globe of like Bantrash, and it shows like the asteroid belt like around in the sector and stuff as well. And,
yeah,
like,
it's the
it
future
shows, like, the
war
different
room.
flights. Yeah, right. It's a war room, and that's like you see me like behind it, and I'm like looking at and like that's sitting there, and like you see the two people come close to that, and there's like another like giant wall of like computer screens and terminals like showing different things and different like strategic things and like news channels and like all that kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there strong. You don't see my face, right? You just see my hair like do the thing on the back. I'm like sitting there with my hands behind my back, like excellent. That's like good. That's the best news I could hear, right? And then we cut away.
All right. I'll do an introduction. Solitaire.
Okay.
I'm a revolutionary, and I'm going to pick. I've been raiding Bantrish plants and warehouses for material, and I have seized the mobile frame of a night guard. So the scene is set like this. There's a warehouse in it probably supports like a remote construction project, like in a forest somewhere. It's the very clear, almost Star Wars-esque, like there's a building with lights on it with like a fence around it and then just like forest in all directions.
Sure.
And there are like two mobile frames that guard it, because it's a high-profile place, but they've sort of got that security guard vibe. Like, I imagine they're the standard mobile frame, but they also have, like, the police or security guard paint job.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They're not military spec, right? And the first thing that happens is an alarm starts going off, like, perimeter alert. And one of the mobile suits, like, starts with gun leveled, like, moving towards the perimeter of the forest. And a bunch of RPGs just like hit it, and it's not like enough right? Because it's just small. It's like the revolutionaries on there with their small arms are like pouring out of the forest, and that's the distraction for the prototype, which like comes out of the sky out of nowhere and it lands behind one of them. And the specialty of the prototype is close quarters combat.
But it's a shooter bot. Why is it? Wait, is that the fucking trick?
No,
everyone thinks it's a shooter bot, and it's actually a close-up fighter.
Yes, it's the bait and switch, but it is the name holds true for one reason, because the prototype, it has a bunch of tricks, but it's one trick to help the revolution is that it comes up behind the first one and it puts its palm like right against its back, and there's a really high powered like precision rifle that goes through the whole arm, and it's designed to target the pilot in the pilot seat and blow out the hatch on the other side. So it just fucking kills the pilot. And then revolutionaries with like grappling hooks throw up, and that's how they commandeer like actual military spec mobile suits, is that the prototype fucking kills the pilot and blows the hatch out. So we do that to the guards, and like there's a warehouse there and we raid it for supplies and stuff, but the real victory is like we're already repainting these security bots as revolutionary spec.
Is it nuts that I can just fucking picture that like an anime scene? Like
I'm really good
in
at
my
that.
Head?
I do
Like
too.
fucking in my head, 100% what you said. Like I see it. I see the fucking illustrated smoke trails of the RPGs hitting the, like fuck. All right, anyways.
So just like Sci-Fi is secretly a Gundam, Wreckage is secretly an anime. So just that's all in there.
Together we form Gundam anime, the purest thing humankind has ever produced.
What people hear about me for that,
Cultural apex.
what everybody hears about from this, like it spreads through the revolution and the Bantress and the landholders, is that I'm the new hope for the revolution, like the secret weapon that's gonna win the revolution.
Yes. Yeah, I cannot wait to show down with you.
Right?
Yes.
Just shoot his smug face right off.
Oh my god. So yeah, no, that's exactly what I've heard of you, and I cannot wait to fucking put you on your ass. Awesome.
I feel the same way.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. Last but not least, Adam.
Yes. Okay. I am going to entertain interloping off-worlders in my family estate, and they've proven. I might choose another one. Might be the same one though. It's one of the top two. I think, yeah, they've proven gracious and easygoing, and I'm warming to them. So I'm thinking like, we're probably not like in an estate itself. We're probably like on top of the estate. And my mech is just, my mobile frame is just like not parked on top of it, but in like the grounds behind the estate. And the one thing, since I didn't discuss my mech that much, the one thing that it has going for it, it like can't shoot at all unless it picks up like a gun made for mobile frames to shoot. It has no guns built into it whatsoever. It's literally just the bare of mobile frames. So it's got like these like hydraulic claws that can rend through like titanium and stuff like that, because it's like pressurized and stuff like that. So it just like, it has a lot of energy going into it, so it just scrapes through it with so much force.
Oh, is it like vibro? Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like it's being perfect. Vibrated so that it can shear metal and everything.
Cuts through it like butter. Yeah. And the other thing it has going for it is it's fucking enormous. It's like, this is like a multi-story estate, and it's like easily like twice, 3 times taller than that.
It's the kind of thing where when people see it for the first time in the anime, everyone's character goes, "Oh!"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome. No, I love Vibrobraids as weapons. I love that shit. That's awesome.
Firebrands are cool, but beam sabers are cooler.
Yeah. All right. Is there okay? I think Kelsa.
Kelsa did scene.
Oh, that's right.
Everybody
She
did
did.
scene.
Everybody did scene.
Remind me. What was V's? Is it V or Vi?
Vi.
What is Vi's scene? What was it again?
She was having a beer with her friends at the bar, and then she kept looking at the door until she got fed up and stormed off in a huff. Now the rumor is spreading that she has anger issues.
Anger issues. That's right. The anger issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So now the next part of the game and the way it kind of works is that we're all gonna pick a scene, and then we're all gonna like do it. And the way we pick a scene is that one at a time we're gonna pick one of those 10 options for a scene. Are we on the right page here? Can you bring us over to the opening page
yes.
again? On the far right of the
right
scene
side.
here, there should be 10 listed games, starting with Solitaire. We're gonna pick one of those, and that's gonna help us frame the scene here. Right out of the gate, is there anybody that wants to like do a scene they know for sure right now what they want to do?
I'm still reading through all of them, but I kind of have an idea of a scene I want to do.
Okay, because I have a scene I want to do too.
Well, the scene I want to do is with you.
Okay, why the scene I wanted to do with you was with you. So let's talk.
Shit.
Yeah. All right.
So I was looking at a conversation over food.
Yeah, that was literally mine. Yes, let's do it.
Oh man,
Out of my head.
All right, the conversation over food.
Okay.
So there's a couple setup rules for when we're doing it. They're over here to the left.
Ask your chosen how you two came to be eating together.
So how did we come to be eating together? Since apparently you had some ideas on this as well, and I'm taking charge. This is my turn. So.
It's a really interesting game so far as when you what you choose as your system and your game, you don't actually have that much control over the circumstances of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we are eating together. You are sort of us meeting together. This is kind of like the Solar Union. You're like our trial run. Like if I do well with you, then we will really have something strong here. Like you're like a trial period, I guess is the way to put it. Like they're willing to ally with me, right? Hey, the Dragonetties are going to ally with you as a bigger thing to the Union in general. If this works
they're
out.
like, hey, we can play ball. Like
Right.
We're gonna give you this little thing before we give you the army. Right, kind of thing. So we're that's how we kind of that's the pretext to us meeting. This might be the first time we're meeting face to face. Like maybe we corresponded before, but this will be the first time we're meeting face to face. You're meeting at the Dragonetti estate. We have it set up a large banquet hall. The table's far too long for just 2 people, but we're sitting I'm sitting at the head of the table, and then you're sitting either to like left or right of me, somewhat down. But like the table extends further down, but it's not set or anything like that. Imagine I'm thinking a lot of like Gothic architecture.
No, I'm feeling
like
it.
Like large, tall, like stone, almost like a castle. A lot of like purple, with a lot of like. It's very warm light. It's like almost like torchlight kind of LED kind of lights. It gives that presence of warmth to this large room, as well as elongates a lot of the shadows. So that's where we're doing. That's where we're eating. That's where we're meeting. I don't think it really makes sense for anyone else to be here, but I think that's the extent of my control over the scene right now.
What do you notice about each other, and what have you heard? So, I think one thing you notice about Vi is that she is dressed formally, like actually probably formally. She's probably wearing like her dress uniform for the coalition here, because she probably doesn't own anything else that's going to be appropriate for this kind of a social gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you also notice that she's got, she definitely has, like, you know, resting bitch face. She definitely looks angry, even though you're pretty sure she's probably not. You know, as she's sitting there, I feel like she's to your left, like on your left side, so that you're to her right. Is a display of power and whatever. Anyway, it's complicated. Yeah, and she's she's got like this very fine pressed uniform on that actually probably looks like it's very never been worn or is incredibly well maintained or both.
Okay.
And like I said before, what you've heard is that she's got anger problems. Maybe that's true. I'm going to keep repeating that until you believe it.
I think what you notice about Leonetta is how serious she is. She probably kept you waiting to get into dinner, and then she comes in a little bit late. Like, you know, like she gives you that just the right amount of time, being like, "Am I getting stood up right now? Like, is it really just where is she?" And then, like, as soon as you look down at your watch or whatever, like the door opens up and like the butlers, you know, open both the doors, and I come walking in. I walk in, like I'm wearing that sort of like like I said, I'm like Jesse from Team Rocket. Wearing like Hugo Boss, like totalitarian clothes, like a lot of, but it's like navy and white trimmings. Trimming's the word I'm thinking of. But it's very kind of like almost nautical. She comes in, hands behind her back again, like, you know, like very like military walking. She goes forward, and like the butler's kind of like, after holding the door, like sprint over to like pull out the chair for her, and she like sits down, very proper. And I want to ask you, what have you heard of me?
I feel like I've heard, like, I've got like I like read your dossier that was provided to me beforehand. And so like that's like the official that I know.
Sure.
But I feel like I've also and this is me just like pulling this out of the scene that you did earlier. It wasn't what you were saying was the rumor, but I feel like that she has the impression that Leonetta is ruthless. Like, that's the kind of, I think that's kind of the Vi is coming to the table, prepared for ruthlessness.
Yeah,
is what Perfect. I'm feeling here.
So when I sit down, I kind of almost like excitedly like put my bib on, or you know, like the napkin, right? You know, like the formal like way of eating things, right? And I look at you, and I kind of like do one of those almost like it's almost like a fake smile. It's sort of that like serpentine smile of like, well, I hope you're hungry. You know, like we have a lot of food coming.
Good.
And
like, I think there's like a moment, like take the napkin, like snap it, and then place it delicately on her lap, kind of thing.
Awesome. So it is your turn. Go ahead and if you could, since you started the scene, go ahead and like read the part about conducting the conversation, and then we'll go from there.
Take turns. The person with the lowest social standing takes the first turn. If this is not clear, have another person choose who takes the first turn on a whim. I think it's very clear that I have the lower social standing here, but at the same time, I also have the higher social standing. It's actually kind of confusing because I'm in your house. You're wealthy.
You are my guest, but
you're my guest, but also I represent a much bigger corporation.
Well, I guess I would ask you, do you feel dominant in this
you're
situation?
in his house, but you also own the deed to his house, technically.
Yeah. Like, do you feel
Well,
do you
but
feel
she's
dominant?
a soldier for that.
Yeah,
That's true.
I don't
You're
own
She's a representative.
You're not a
I
landowner.
represent-
You're part of the landowner's private military corps.
I would say that socially, Eric's character has a much higher standing.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Okay.
Okay.
So on your turn, you can ask a topical question, which is listed on the other side here. I'll bring the page over when we need to. You can just engage in improvised conversation. You can pass, saying instead something about the food, or you can leave the conversation. And the way this scene will end, ultimately, is at the end. You end the conversation when everyone has either passed in a row, or everyone has left the conversation but one person.
So can you do this with more than one player then?
Yes, you could do this with multiple people.
Multiple people could be here.
Okay.
But just because of our setup here, it didn't make sense for
Has to
anyone.
make sense. For
I just wanted to clarify the specifics of that.
Yeah, it's
no
in the
problem.
setup thing. It says
no,
other
there's a
players
lot
can
of,
join
like-
if it makes sense.
A criticism of this game could definitely be leveraged that there's a lot to like pick up at the start, and then once you can learn it, I mean, even though it's listed out here explicitly, you still have to like grok it real quick, and then right.
Yeah, no, I'm down.
I definitely.
Stepping in.
I want to do some improvised scenes, but I want to start off with one of these topical questions, and so, and this is really why I came here, and that is, I hope to find some common ground with you about blank, and that's going to be Takanato.
Yeah, what does this look like?
Do I go? Do you go for it?
Yeah, but what does this look like?
yeah,
Describe for it.
Okay, I mean, if you want me to. So I think it starts off with like the first course comes, because obviously this is going to be like a multi-course meal with like sorbet in between.
Sure.
Obviously. And like the soup course comes, and then I turn to you and I say, I've heard quite a bit about your prowess in a mobile suit. How do you feel about a certain Takanato? I've heard that his abilities are the best on this planet.
I respond coyly. So you know that I know who you're talking about, but what I actually say is funny. Never heard of him. As I like sip, you know.
I agree. He needs to be taken down a peg.
I only really pay attention to actual threats. If I spend all my time worrying about riffraff, I'd never get anything done.
All right, I think that makes it your turn to.
Yeah. Oh, I got it.
Hold on, I'm LARPing.
Yeah. So, this is the scene, right? We're still eating. We're about like midway through the meal or whatever, and here's the option for, beef or fish or chicken or whatever. It's your choice here. And in addition to that, there's a bunch of selections of wine and things like that. So, what I do, and what you see Leonetta does, is kind of give you the sort of list here. Like, well, I hope you're enjoying your stay. I hope that that you enjoyed the Dragonetti hospitality. I would like to help you with anything that you may require. You will see that our selections are quite extensive for imbibements and cuisine. In addition, I hope to engage with some polite conversation. Mechanically, I'm feeling expansive. What do you want to know about me? I'm offering all of these different selections and things like that, and being like, the Dragonettis pride themselves in being worldly or interworldly. Let me know if there's anything that we could do to accommodate you. We probably have it.
Interworldly, I love it.
I'll be honest. Before I made Planetfall, I had nothing but reprocessed seaweed. That's standard fare up well. And
Sounds horrible.
none of these appear to be beer. Am I misreading this?
Oh no. That's that is my mistake. We only offer. I took you for a vintage wine person. 1 second, and I bring over the butler. I bring over the butler or the maitre d' or whatever, and I whisper in the ear, and they like look, and I bring them again, and I message them again. You know, like, and he looks at me like weird, and like he like rushes out the room.
Mm-hmm.
What you don't hear
Car
is that
drive
I'm
away.
like, yeah, what we don't hear is that like this person wants beer, and you're like, beer? Why don't we don't carry beer here? And
need you
the
to go to
person- I'm
7-Eleven.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, but the person wants beer. Go get beer. And they're like, so exactly. They're like, oh, just a minute. We're gonna pick out something very special for you. Please, in the meantime, let's just have some wine right now.
All right. So, like, and I think like she's gonna use this as like a way to get Leonetta to talk about like her growing up, like her like talking about like what it was like up well, in order for Leonetta to kind of open up about like growing up on the planet as a noble person.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to know about how I was raised, or like how I thought and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I look
you
at
got
you.
some time
yeah.
before the beer gets back.
I look at you, and yeah. So I look at you. I take you for someone who. This is not what I say, but I take you for someone who's not very. I take you for someone who's not very jovial, very straight to the point. I look at you and I say, I think we had a lot in common growing up. We weren't a big fan of dolls.
Yeah, I think that you actually
Wow.
get a chuckle out of
Yeah.
her with that. Like,
Yeah, while a lot of girls our age were grooming about the latest boys and gossip, I was reading my father's training manuals for military strategy. I watched numerous replays of the great battles across the sector from the Terran Federation. I've always been sort of a strategist. I focused far more time on books, learning strategy, and the upper levels of culture, and less on the, I guess the best way of putting it, the short-sighted pursuits that many of my noble peers end up indulging in.
I see.
I'm sure you think that makes me so boring, but believe me, I know a good joke, and I proceed to tell you a funny joke about the revolution. Here's something that I want to ask you. I believe this question, or this joke, is in poor taste. This joke is makes me ignorant of the revolutionary cause. It could be perceived as a blunder, but I feel like I'm trusting you. Do you let me recover gracefully, or do you hold it against me? I think it's it's not racist, but it's kind of like raunchy, or you know what I mean? It's not polite dinner conversation to make the joke that I just made. I'm not the best role player to know what the joke was, but play with it. Whatever you say it was, I'll probably go with it, right?
I feel like I'm gonna let you recover gracefully because I haven't even really seen you in action yet. And so, like, you tell the joke and you get, like, a stern frown in response. But there's, like, a small twinkle in her eye because she thinks it's funny, but she's not allowed to think it's funny. So she gives you that moment to recover after she goes, but you know she thinks it's funny.
Yeah. I actually push you on that a little bit. I know it's going to be your turn, but I'm like, it's okay to laugh here. It's okay. This is a safe place, right? This is private.
Yeah, and I
know
think
it
like
was
her
funny.
like her response to that is like,
And I'm arrogant that way. Like I feel like, come on, you know it was funny. That was a good joke.
yeah, and I think her response here is just you say it's okay to laugh
Yeah.
at that.
Well, I do.
What was the name of the company I'm representing? I need to fucking write that down.
I don't. You never told us the company. It's a Solar Union, but
Yeah.
they're like a group of companies. But you only
Okay.
gave your regiment.
You have your
squad.
squad. Yeah.
What's the company that I work for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But,
You can
but
make
think about
that
it this
up
way.
if you want.
Well, that I'm asking myself and chat.
Oh,
Yeah, chat. Give her the name of the company. Just don't say Wayland Utani.
You can't tell an audience. You can't tell Twitch. Don't say blank. They'll say blank.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm not there yet.
The best joke. Did you hear that they called their secret weapon Shootbot 1000? Sorry, 001? Yeah.
yeah. There's only one of it, but we call it 001.
Because we're ambitious.
Because there might be more shoot bots one day.
There's gonna be a 002. It shows up at the end to save the day.
All right.
Yeah.
You're the first one to say something, so the Savvy Corporation it is.
Monsanto Joja conglomerate. I feel like that's actually from. Is that from the Sprawl?
That's a joke from Arthur's stream.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's the yeah. Stardew
Because
Valley.
Joja is from Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
And
Yeah.
I think they
That's pretty good too. But I like Savvy Corp.
I was trying to think of names that
Savvy,
weren't just
yeah.
stealing from Shadowrun.
Savvy's good. I like.
Corp. Yeah, so like you say the bad joke and I give you the look and then you're like it's okay to laugh and then I'm like not on Savvy Corp's dime.
I roll my eyes. It's like, and not like I'm in an insulted way, but in sort of like an exasperated, like, oh.
Right. Yeah.
I thought we could use this time to get to know each other a little more. Take down those barriers, you know. Turn off our shields a little bit, but so be it.
Okay. Okay, yeah, like I think that that's going to like go into the I need you to reassure me about in where I'm like, look, you got some talent, kid. It's true. But if the higher ups hear this kind of nonsense, you're going nowhere. I need you to tell me you can put on a good front. And I'm not talking pretty dresses.
My sly smile immediately evaporates to like a stone cold, stern nod, and I bring the glass of wine to my lips. The Dragonettis have always persevered. They've always rose above their station. You have nothing to worry about from us. And slight retcon to that. Even though my father has passed, the family's in good hands. As I take a sip. Yeah. Nice.
I'll put it back on your turn.
Yeah. Let me think of something I want to do. If business, I've always found that dessert pairs best with business. Now, remember that piece of riffraff that you brought up earlier? That Take, what was it? I ask you to follow up.
Takanoa.
Yeah, that's right, that guy. Is it a guy, right?
Takano.
What the fuck?
I know. I like the idea that we don't know you have your name right.
We're purposely gonna get your name wrong forever.
Yeah, Taka whatever.
Celestial whatever.
Celestial, you know who I mean. It's fine.
No, like, I honestly like. Yeah, it wouldn't be something that my character would really care about because you're not like important or whatever.
It's really important that I can punch you in the face, and less important that I get your name right.
Yeah. It just so happens that our family has good intel about his whereabouts, particularly about some sort of new mech design that that the Revolution may or may not have. I'm hoping that we can fight side by side as we destroy it and let them know who the real victors are, or who the real authority is on the planet. As I offer my glass in a toast. Mechanically, mechanically, I'm hoping to get you to commit to fighting on my side in an upcoming fight, in an upcoming ambush against the Revolution, particularly going against. Totally.
She will she'll accept your toast and say, "I'm looking forward to it. It will certainly be a way to prove yourself to the Solar Union." And then I would like to say this is when my beer arrives, and I'm gonna pass and talk about how terrible your beer is.
I get called away for some pressing matter. Like, oh, you have to excuse me. I'm sorry, an emergency came up. And that's the scene.
All right, that's the scene. Yeah. We're out.
Cool. Perfect. That's really funny because I basically had such a similar idea for my own scene. So that's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yep. Cool. Now, all right. That's one scene down. Boy, we are way behind in terms of a break. So we have to go to our first break.
Okay.
Then we'll come back and we'll do more.
I have an idea for a scene when we come back.
Cool,
if no one else wants
we'll
to
jump
go.
around and we'll do some scenes. Great, guys.
Excellent.
All right, we'll see you guys in about 5 minutes.
Let's do this for 6 hours because I'm having a blast.
Yeah, blast.
I don't know if you're being facetious or not.
I'm not being facetious.